Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to trace a bitmap image and use the least amount of vertices as possible in Illustrator. A lot of times designers will use a horizontal and vertical method of producing vertices. To me this is really hard to use and especially for first-time users. I have a much quicker method that I think many people will enjoy. It produces a little bit more haphazard points, but a lot less of them. Without further ado, here's how I do this. First, you have to do is select your bitmap image that you've imported. I like to lock it, so I will lock that selection, and then I will select the pen tool. I will create a stroked shape or stroked fill, and then I'll start clicking on all the extreme edges where there's an acute angle and quickly go through and hit all the points, even if it cuts through some weird spots like this. So in the end it produces a really weird shape, but the next thing I do allows me to recurve the tool. The newer versions of Illustrator allow for this neat feature where you hold down the Alt key and you'll get this little reshaping tool. And if you click and drag, you can automatically pull out the curves. It's not always perfect, but it automatically creates the Bezier handles that you need. So I go through and I kind of quickly just make a curve for each. Sometimes it'll match up exactly. And then sometimes not so much. But it's a quicker way to get to where you need, and then you can go in and fine tune it later. So I'm just holding Alt the whole time and creating a curve on each line segment, like so. So I have a curve now on every single line segment. Now I select the direct selection tool and click on the vertices like that, and just quickly make an adjustment to meet those curves. Now this will produce a lot less points. You'll notice that there's 1 point per extreme vertice or acute vertice. And the other benefit that it has is you can use the new rounded corners feature a lot easier with this, unlike the horizontal and vertical method that most designers use for hand lettering and tracing illustrations. So I could go at this a little bit more, but here's my final result. And here's what it would look like if it was just horizontal and vertical lines. You'll see that with that method, you have to produce an anchor at extreme edges of the curve on whatever is the tangent to the circle um, on this curve. That adds an extra point and actually limits what you can do with this new curve tool. So if I was to select, for instance, this point and try to recurve this point, I can only curve it right here. On mine, because there's no extra points along this curve, I can actually recurve it all the way until it hits the edge. So it allows for a lot more freedom once you've created your curves, like so. So have fun, and thank you for listening.